most of the MPs for Jubilee Party are predominantly from the Mount Kenya region. And the fact that...
Sorry, correction. Right now, most of them are actually from Northeastern. Most of the ones in office.
Okay.
Actually from
thank you for that correction.
Yes.
But it was a big party within the Mount Kenya region. Now with other parties coming up, the likes of DCP, a re-energized Democratic Party, do you see a challenge? Because headlines just 2 days ago were talking about a rift within the united opposition.
Yeah, first of all, Fred, I want to say that the opposition is very much aware that if they don't stand together, they'll be roasted together. But whether this awareness has created enough threat to them to unite is another story. You hear normally the story about the rainbow where all colors were thinking that they were very independent and the rest. And then lightning, when let's say thunder strikes, then they unite. We are waiting for that moment that thunder needs to strike, then opposition actually can realize that they have to board together. So having said that, let me say the following. Matiang'i going to look for Jubilee and being declared party leader of Jubilee will break away from a very long years of history since independence. There is no single president who has been president on a party that is not his. Look from history, isn't it? Uhuru Kenyatta had his own party. Ruto had his own party. Kibaki had his own party. Moi had his own party. Of course, he inherited it, but he inherited a party of his. Kenyatta the same. Matiangi believes that you can come from Kisii and take a party from Mount Kenya and be identified. There will be identity crisis there. I'm thinking that if it's me asking me, then Matiangi should think otherwise, because he will be seen even by the Kisii as a stooge of Jubilee. They won't own him compared to if he built a party which is homegrown. Fred, as I said earlier, that politics is not supposed to be tribal, it's local, but not tribal. So, I mean there's local mobilization, because I cannot come from here, then go to Mount Kenya, and believe that Mount Kenya will love me for me. I have to get somebody from Mount Kenya, whom I work with, who can sell my policy in the local context of Mount Kenya. Doesn't mean it's tribal, but it just means I'm being local. So local ownership of Matiang'i will be very important for his candidature. So if you ask about the Uhuru Kenyatta thing, then I come to your main question directly. Uhuru Kenyatta retired, but he wanted still to be active in politics. And he discovered the only way to do that is actually to ensure his party survives, because if he doesn't want to be active in politics, you know the court cases have dragged for 3 years. He could have just said, forget about it. And I'm sure he's been bothered and bogged down by that case. So it's very important for this matter. But he has found that to strengthen this party, you might get somebody who is as strong as Matiang'i to come into that party and maybe give it the way it goes. So I can end there by saying that it seems Jubilee needs Matiang'i than Matiang'i needs Jubilee. Because if Jubilee does not get any strong candidate like Matiang'i, then Jubilee is actually dead. Why am I trying to say so? Jubilee had around 30 elected members of parliament, but if you say that Jubilee is having many, number 3, those number 3 are only on paper. Most of them joined William Ruto immediately. That's why Jubilee actually was taken dead. In fact, there's a time even Ruto was calling Sabina Chege, party leader of Jubilee. Kanini Kega were the one calling shots in Jubilee. So we know very well that the 2 members of parliament who are with Jubilee are around 2 people only. And some of them decide to be neutral. So Jubilee is technically dead if Matiang'i does not come. Now the question about strong opposition. I want to say this, Fred, and this is my prediction, and it might come to pass. If Matiang'i comes in, takes up Jubilee, and strengthens Jubilee in Mount Kenya, and then Jubilee starts giving DCP a strong competition, I'll tell you the following. Gachagua will come out gun blazing to confront Matiang'i, Jubilee Party, because if you ask me, the single most important thing for Gachagua or DCP is that they control Mount Kenya in terms of MPs, MCS, and the rest. And if a stronger Jubilee will eat into that pie, Gachagua might not mind running or not running. But if anybody eats into the pie of the MPs and MCS, Gachagua will find he has nothing to gain, and he might actually fight. And actually, Gachagua had asked Uhuru Kenyatta family for forgiveness. I can predict if Uhuru Kenyatta's family, that is the Kenyatta family, strengthen Matiang'i to eat out the pie from Gachagua, Then Gachagua will come and hit hard at that family again because of the following. He will tell Uhuru that when you became president for 10 years, you never called for the so-called Limuru 3. You never prepared a successor for Mount Kenya. You left us as orphans. Now I've woken up the community back and united back. Then you come back again and want to take us back. I'm sure Uhuru Kenyatta tried to help Raila to become president when he was president. He failed. He will be told that now that you are not even president, you cannot help Matiangi. So leave us alone. Okay. And for that matter, it is better for opposition that Matiangi takes up his own party, builds his identity with it, then comes united opposition, DCP comes in it, and then they agree on the way forward.
Yes, but Munyura, I want your assessment on this because, as Professor said, Fred Matiangi coming to the joint opposition on his own party is something different as opposed to him coming with a Jubilee tag. I've seen some criticism and some mudslinging online already once the photo appeared of Ngojiri Wambugu and Fred Matiangi yesterday, and people are saying, and these are people associated with the united opposition, that honor